What's up, everyone? Soulframe Preludes 13 just dropped literally an hour ago, and they made a lot of changes to the game. Most significantly, they reworked virtues a ton. I wanted to just make a super quick guide, mostly tailored to newer players, on how to actually find every virtue prism, what stats they boost, and what you need to buy them, so you can better prioritize your time to get the prisms that you want the most as quickly as possible. So let's get started. First, we should probably talk about what virtues actually do now so that you can decide which prisms you should prioritize getting. Luckily, the devs added this helpful tooltip to your character screen, which gives a pretty good overview. Courage gives more life, Spirit lets you cast packed abilities more frequently, and Grace increases critical damage from sneak attacks and headshots. Also, should be noted that all virtues increase your health. Courage just does much more significantly compared to Grace and Spirit. Virtues also enhance their respective packed abilities now. For example, increasing points in courage will enhance your red courage based packed abilities. So, if there are specific packed abilities you really like using, it's probably a good idea to invest in its associated virtue. Weapons can no longer have the virtue that they are attuned to changed via the blessed joinery system. So, if you have a specific weapon type you like using, you're going to want to invest in its associated virtue. In general, Spirit attunes magic weapons, Courage attunes larger melee weapons, and Grace attunes smaller blade weapons and bows. Armor is also associated with specific virtues now, so to unlock the full capabilities of any armor set, you'll need to invest in its indicated virtue. In general, Spirit attunes to light armor, Courage attunes to heavy armor, and Grace attunes to medium armor. A little tip you can see if you meet the virtue requirement for any equipment by looking for the virtue symbol up and to the right of the equipment icon. If the icon is there, you have met this requirement. If it's not, then you still need to invest more into that attuned virtue. There are 12 Virtue Prisms currently in the game, and they unlock pretty similarly for the most part through the faction system. There are 3 starter prisms, one for each virtue, which give a slight boost to said virtue, but nothing too extreme. These are the most well rounded prisms currently in the game, so if you want to invest in all 3 virtues relatively equally, this is your best bet. You'll get one automatically when you pick your starter pack at the beginning of the game, the one associated with the pack's virtue. The other two, you will have to go to the other two faction representatives and speak to them. So if you pick Osoda at the beginning of the game, you'll receive a prism that gives slightly more points invested in spirit, and you'll need to go to the Silent Rose and Kith of Kings faction reps. And there you'll get your other two starter prisms. You don't need to be pledged to the pack to get that prism. Just go up to the rep, engage in some dialogue, and they'll grant you the prism. There are 3 extreme prisms in the game currently, and you'll need to buy these at the faction shops. You do need to be pledged to the faction and at least level 2 in said faction to be able to purchase the prism. Alka's Children will have the Extreme Spirit Prism, Silent Rose has Extreme Grace, and Kith of Kings has Extreme Courage. These are my Prism Virtue stats at character level 16 and no points allocated via my talisman or pact. So you can see pretty much everything gets invested in one virtue with these. So only use this if you only care about one singular virtue. This is a little annoying with the 1 week timer to change factions, so you will need to wait 1 week each time to jump from faction shop to faction shop in order to get all 3 extreme prisms. There are 3 hybrid prisms. They are also locked behind the faction shops, and you need to be level 4 in said faction to obtain them, so a bit more of a grind than the other prisms. Each faction has 2 available for purchase, and they're just the prisms which boost the faction virtue. So for Alka's Children, they will sell prisms that boost spirit and grace, as well as one that boosts spirit and courage, since that is the spirit faction. It will not sell the courage and grace hybrid prism, so don't expect to see that there. If you're collecting all of the prisms, you only need to go to level 2 factions to level 4, and that will be enough to buy all of the prisms. There are also wild prisms, which are only available if you buy the founders pack of the game. These prisms are pretty similar to the extreme prisms, but they don't go quite as extreme in one direction and are a little more balanced. These may be available to attain later iterations of the game without the Founders Pack, but for right now, you will need to buy that to get these prisms. And that's basically a quick overview on virtue prisms. Hopefully, this provides a little more context on what virtues are important for you to prioritize and where you can find the prisms you need. The biggest mistake you can make right now is probably joining the wrong faction for the prism you want, since that will reset your 1 week faction change timer, so try not to do that. If you made it to this end of the video, I really do appreciate it. More videos on the changes Preludes 13 made to come, and if you're interested in that, I will also be streaming on Twitch pretty frequently. Link is in the description below. Other than that, good luck out there, and I hope you have a fantastic day.